YouTube? This is Shirley426, and today we have something very different from my usual stuff. So what you see in front of me is not a Transformers toys from Hasbro, but it's something, it's basically a Korean toy made in Korea. This is called the Sky SWAT version from the Korean animation series called Hello Carbot. Now, some of you may heard of these series or not, it doesn't really matter. Now, the main reason why I'm reviewing this is mainly because I wanted to check something out regarding the new COPPA law, and I wanted to see if they actually figure out or recognize like the product itself, because I know this type of product, it was only meant for specific age people, so, or at least that's how they advertise it. So I just wanted to check out how this affects my channel or affects the video itself, because currently my channel is the setting is set up to not for kids. So this one I just want to check whether or not how this thing works. Okay, so yes, after this review I'll be making another review from something from Kotobukiya, so don't worry, don't freak out. This is not going to be a regular thing. This is just a test, okay? Okay, so as I mentioned, this is from a Korean cartoon or animation series, so no, that's how it is. And this thing is pretty big than I thought, because usually I do see a lot of Transformer toy reviews from Jobby the Hong, and yeah, I don't think those stuff are usually this big. But okay, so let's go on to my usual review. So let's talk about components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is this robot named Sky SWAT. So I believe I've seen a few episodes that had this character in. It's a female character technically, because the voice is obviously female. And then this is not her original form. This is like another disguise. Her original form is a more orange and bluish color. So you get the gist of it. So, and that's that. And this is actually able to transform. There is a little bit of a parts forming aspect, but nothing too like serious. Other than the robot itself, you get 3 equipment. So obviously this is the sun shield, or like the top of the car section, which you can use, that works as a shield. Yeah, so here we have the handle, nothing too special regarding that. And at least they use some clear plastic for these parts. And then we get this is what they call the machine gun. So this is machine gun, and then if you open it up, according to the box, it becomes a more powerful machine gun. Now these may look like ammo clips, but that's not the case. These are actually for the transformation. But I've done it before, but the machine gun is not really 100% necessary for the transformation. Just want to mention you that. And here we have the police baton stick, or something like that. And it's crappy. I know. Keep in mind, this is not for like adults. So they really went cheap. They went really cheap with the weapons, I'm gonna say that. And yeah, you can see the emptiness, because obviously this has to fold up, and this is actually, you have to fold this up for the transformation as well. The handle does not go anywhere, by the way. But yeah, that's just how it is. Alright, so let's get on to review. Now this thing is pretty big, so let's get this off the stand as possible. And just before we start, here's like a simple idea how big this thing is. So here's a typical HG kit, the HG Gundam local type. And then here we have the Premium Bandai exclusive Master Grade Prototype Gundam, which is based on the Master Grade RX-78 2.0. So you can see it's very tall, very big, very tall. So I believe in the company that made this, they also made like a mini versions of these. But yeah, I believe the transformation is kind of different and more simple, and which is why it didn't really get my attention. Alright, so let's get on to the review. So I'm gonna start with the usual head section. Now, I don't think Korea obviously does have like a special police unit force, but I don't think they call it SWAT, but just for the sake of it, they just went with the name SWAT for it. And yes, the car transformation of this is actually based on a real car that exists from Hyundai, actually. So yeah. So the head, I do like this design of the head. Now, I did have the option to get the original, but I didn't really like the original head design. But this one actually really stood out compared to the other robots from the series. This one had a more very military or tactical look to it. So yeah, I like it. And has a scope. These are not detachable, and the head, because of how the gimmick works here, the head might feel a little bit wobbly up and down, because you don't actually push in the head or anything. It goes in automatically when you transform it. But But we do have a little bit of movement, not too much. So no 360 twist on the head. Not that I expect it to do so, even for a real robot. So the arm articulation is kind of odd because this is how it's supposed to look, but in order to make this look right, you have to like this. You see the moving points here. You have to like fold in everything in. So in this form, you can't really rotate the arm. But in this form, like if you go like this, now you can see how it moves. So just to show you guys how it works, we have these ratchet joints, can go 360 if you want to do so. The arms do not rotate because the way how you can see the screws there, it's not meant to rotate. And the arm itself, I believe, can go to the side a little bit, but yeah, not really that much. And then we have a 90-degree bend, and then the hand seems to be a little bit shaky, so I thought it was able to rotate, but it doesn't really rotate for some reason. And on the arm itself, if you heard that, we also have ratchet joints, and this can fold back, but this is mostly for the transformation. Okay, and we have the waist, but there is no waist articulation, no rotation, no ab crunch. So yeah. Now we have the side. We do have some side swivels going on here. The side swivels are not on ratchet joints. The ratchet joints are actually on the connection here, so we can go to the side. Oops, that did not sound good. Okay, about 90 degrees, and then it can go forward 90 degrees, and then backward 90 degrees. So that is okay for me. Okay. And then for regarding the bend, there's not much. We have a little bit of bend, but less than 90 degrees. And we have the feet, which is literally no articulation. I mean, it can go forward, but this is mainly for the transformation, so it shouldn't really count. Okay, so we've seen the basics of it. Let's look at the back, since Jabi Dahong always likes to mention the back and says Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna like the back of this as well. Personally, yeah. It's just basic, simple. Now, when it comes to Transformer toys, I'm not sure like what they're more focused on. I'm not sure if they're focused on the robot or more focused on the vehicle mode. Either way, but I guess in either way, the company or if you're designing it, you would have to, I guess, sacrifice a few things. But in this case, I think they sacrificed in both cases. So I'm not sure if this is the best scenario, but still, for what it is, it definitely looks okay. And for being a toy for certain age people, it's fine, to be honest. It's fine. Okay, so the weapons, as I mentioned, they're not that great. So I'm just gonna go this pretty fast. So here we have the police baton. You just need to plug it in, and there you go. Very short, not even cool. But what I do like this is this extra detail. I didn't notice this until like recently, but you can flip this open up, and then it reveals a small section where you can actually store in the baton. Of course, I think the empty section has to face the inside like that to make it fit perfectly, and you can store it in. Yeah, so I say that was a slightly nice detail. Now the gun, there's no way to store it on the robot mode, by the way. I just want to mention that, but you can plug it in, and there you go. You're good to go. But once again, because of how the arm structure is, it may be very awkward to pose with the gun. I mean, if they had like a rotation point on here, it would have been much better, but oh well. And once you have the back section up, it gets more tricky to, you know, pose, because the back stock collides with the arm, and then you cannot rotate the hand itself, so it does become a little bit annoying. So I'm gonna take that off. Come on. Okay, there we go. And then here we have the shield. Nothing too special. Once again, all you need to do is just plug it onto the hand. Now, it plugs into the weapons plug into the hand very firmly. But I don't think the joints on the arm itself is strong enough, because now the arm itself, the bending point has a ratchet joint, so holding it like this is no problem. But I did have some issues where the hand, it's not too common, but I just saw something like where the arm just went down by itself while having the shield. But that doesn't really make any sense at the same time, because we have these ratchet joints, so I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. But either way, it holds the shield okay, but not the best design, to be honest. Okay, now to plug this out, and now for the transformation. Come on. Ooh. Okay, so the transformation is fairly simple. It's just basically jamming this thing into a small like block. So yeah. This time I'm going to use the machine gun, or the way how you're supposed to do it. So first of all, the machine gun. So if you look at the feet below here, we have this small hole here, and obviously there's a peg. So hole and peg system, nothing too difficult. You have to make sure the handle of the gun goes upwards, and then all you need to do is just plug this thing in, and you're good to go. And then and also the wheels, you have to flip these open or flip these outside just to make sure. And then on the back we have these pegs here. You just need to line them up. While you're lining them up, you have to have the machine gun lined up as well on the proper position. So yeah, sometimes I will actually say doing this without the machine gun might be easier in some degree. And then basically all you need to do is basically jam it inside there until it fits. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and then we have the back section completed. So for the arms, all you need to do is just straighten them up and then make them go backwards. And then it's basically all about lining things up at this point. So you flip this body open up, and while you're flipping it up, you can see the head going inside there, and then just line everything on the proper position. Something doesn't look right here, but okay, it still works. And then all you need to do is just line things up and then close them in the right position. There we go. And then the doors, you can see, you can technically fold them inside. They will move like this. And then we have these holes right over here. And then there's a peg actually on the robot arm. So all you need to do is just close them up and you're good to go. And now we have the top section. Now the manual, I didn't really follow the manual, because what the manual tells you to do is flip this thing open, and then we have the handle, and then we have this part right over here where you need to not plug it, not force it in, but slide it into the side and then close everything up. So why I don't like this is that if you do so, you can actually see the handle inside there, because obviously the glass is pure clear plastic, and it's kind of annoying to do that multiple times. So what I do is just close it up and then just replug everything in, because the way how this thing works is that we have this front section here, and then we have two pegs, two holes here, and they pretty much get this job done. And yeah, there we go. No handle, and it looks more better than looks better than having the handle in there, and there you go. And yeah, because obviously the door opening gimmick is mostly for the transformation, but yeah, you can still make it look like the car door is opening as well. Of course, here's the problem when it comes to the looks. So each door actually, the doors are a different size when you look at it. They're actually at different lengths. So if you look at this side, you can see it's just it's a car with one door here. But if you look at this side, you can see it's actually different. We have a back door right over here. The main reason for this is because of the storing gimmick of the Baton, I believe. So there we go. So the Baton is still there, so that's kind of the tricky design part, if you ask me. And yeah, so for those who are wondering, this is actually based on the Hyundai Veloster. So because this Hello Carbot series, Hyundai, the car company of Korea, did actually take part of this. They designed all the cars. They actually, I believe the engineers actually designed all the cars, not the robots, but they drew all the cars for the series, I believe, or at least they took part of it. So yeah. And that's pretty much it. So obviously there's all these seam lines going on to it, which gives out that it's pretty much a transforming car. But they did a pretty good job in making it look clean. And obviously, because being a cartoon, they did not add the Hyundai logo here. For the front, there is like a Carbot symbol. I believe that it should be like a symbol of something in the series. But yeah. And obviously the lower section is going to be full of kibble. I believe that's what they call it, right? But yeah, but other than that, this was okay actually. You can store in every weapon here, no kibble left, no leftover parts. Obviously you can see the machine gun, and the baton is on the back seat pretty much. So yeah, so if you have like a younger cousin or something who likes robots, but you don't want to buy him something that breaks easily, I guess this could be one of those things. And yeah. So that was pretty much it. Thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the Sky SWAT from Hello Carbot. Once again, this is not going to be my regular thing. This is just mostly a test for YouTube, but yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.